Oh yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah, I know, I've done FMS before.
Alright. Hey Melissa, here's your video, a little how-to on the FMS. I'm over at Good CrossFit. Terry. It'll be great. We're gonna be all good. Okay, so neck flexion. So again, you take your head down. Okay, so we want chin to chest. That's the optimal. And then take your head all the way back and look up. So we want the face to be relatively parallel with the floor. So Terry wouldn't pass this one. Still going on back there. And come on back up. And then the next one is neck rotation. You turn your whole body in case you never yep, good. Then turn your head either direction. So the chin should pass the mid clavicle section. That's a pass. Let's go the other way. Same deal. That's an easy pass. Good. So passing the mid collarbone line on that one. Watch out for people doing this sort of tipping back and turning. So just watch that substitution. Then face this way, and then reach up behind your back as hard as you can. Okay. So reaching up that way, you want to be able to reach the bottom corner of the shoulder blade. So easily pass that one. Go ahead and do the other side for me. Yep. So easy peasy, easy. Go ahead and bring that down. And keep facing this way. Ready to go up and over, and something back. So you should be able to reach the opposite shoulder blade, which is no problem. Go ahead and go the other way. Go a little stiffer by the time it gets there. So that's that. Come on down. Excellent. Okay, then we have the stuff on the floor. So come on down. You lay on your back. Your head can go on either end. It doesn't matter. So this is the kind of one that we're checking the lat mobility. So legs are totally flat. You're going to take either arm and reach up and over your head as far as you can. Good. Bring it on down and then do the other side. So arms should get even with the ears and then bring it back down. Okay, then we want to see if the lats are tight. So we're going to put the lats on tension by tucking the knees up towards you. So both legs, just tuck them all the way up and nice and tight. Yep. And now take one arm and reach up over your head. Yep. And then bring it back down. And the other side. Good. And then let's just do both at the same time, just to see if it changes anything. So, good, we're fine. So when someone's lats are really tight, when their knees are tucked up like that, they will lose that overhead motion to some extent. So they should still be able to get even with their ears though. So that's still the gold standard. If someone is completely, relaxed, if someone is completely flat and they're not passing, you can still have them do the lat test and see if it feels any different. But most likely, if they're laying completely flat and they're not hitting the floor, it's not their lats that are the problem, it's something else, either in their shoulder or their back or wherever. All right, then the next one is kind of the funky one. So come all the way up to standing. Okay, so Terry, I'm gonna have you go in this position. You're gonna be on your knees and you're gonna sit back on your feet, tuck one arm right between your knees, one hand behind your head, rotate up as far as you can. So sitting on the knees, elbow between the knees, hand behind the head, and rotating. We want this elbow to get as close to perpendicular to the floor as possible. It's actually not too bad.
That's not good, I can still see it.
Yeah.
I should be able to see it.
Right, and then switch and go the other way.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Yep, it's a little tight. If someone has shoulder issues, if you put your hand behind your low back, and then put that other elbow back in there again, and then do the same thing. So it's still going to be just as limited, but that can be a little bit more comfortable on the shoulder, so that's a good little modification if you need it. So that is the entire upper body sequence. So then, let's go back on the platform and do lower body.
This is going to be interesting.
All right, so to standardize foot placement, you stay right where you are. I'm going to put my foot between your feet, give my foot a squeeze. Perfect. Take my foot up. Right there. And we're just for the sake of speed, we're doing this with shoes on, but normally shoes would be off. So Terry, I'm going to have you bend forward if you're going to touch your toes. Good. So we're looking for uniformity in the back. Distance, you should be able to at least get fingertips to the floor. So come on back up. And then for back extension, if you face this way for me. And raise your arms up over your head. And squeeze my foot again. Okay. Those arms up nice and high. Okay, then I'm going to have you bend backward like you're doing limbo. So we're looking at a couple things here. Are the hips coming beyond the toes and are the shoulders going past the heels? Good. Come on back up. Solid. Okay, then doing just a lumbar rotation. Face this way, long time for me. Give yourself a hug. And then we're going to just turn the shoulders this way. Should be able to get past 45 degrees and then go the other way. Come on back. stretching, you can put your feet wherever you want, wherever your clients are comfortable with their squat stance. We'll let that just be their own standard. And then hands up over the ears, yep. And then go ahead and squat down as low as you can go. Good, and then come on back up. So we're looking at, how mobile are they? Are they able to maintain their hand position? Is the torso staying parallel with the shins? So those are the big ones. If someone's riding the struggle bus, watch them from behind too and see if like one hip is sinking down. So try to get a couple different viewpoints on that one. Then we have the standing on one foot.
This is going to be a problem.
So for our purposes, I don't really care what you do with your other leg, so you can do the 90-90 or whatever you want.
Okay.
So just a 10-second single leg stance hold. If someone kicks butt on that one, then we'll do 10 seconds eyes closed. Yeah.
This was bad. I thought this would be worse because of my Achilles.
Sometimes like Tai Chi moves.
I know, the shoes have no stability in them, which is the same as being barefoot. But
Right.
That foot slides all around, I guess, but that doesn't matter.
Okay, then the next one is one that we'll do a little bit differently than what's on the sheet. So this one is for hip flexors and quads. We're going to do this one laying on your stomach. So put your head on that end, face down. So all we're going to do, your arms can go wherever you want. All we're going to do is just bend a knee. You let me move you. And we're going to see how far we can go. If you can get the heel to the butt. The other thing to watch out for is this hip rising up. So if someone is able to keep totally flat and get that knee all the way to their butt with a stretch but no massive pain, that's where we want to be. If they're lifting up here, that's probably more of a hip flexor issue, or if they're complaining of some low back discomfort or tightness, that's probably more hip flexor than anything else. So do that on each leg. Then Terry, kind of flip over on your back, please. Hamstrings, so yep, both other leg flat, yep, and then going up here. So we're going to just do it to keep it standardized, keeping your legs straight and seeing how high up we can go. Gold standard is 90 degrees, but acceptable is 10 degrees short of that, so we're actually right where you need to be. Good job.
I should be looser, but
Yeah, but it gets it done. Support right below the knee, just to make sure that knee is staying straight. It can still look straight, but it'll like bend a smidge. So give it that little extra, like let them raise their leg up as far as they can, and then you can kind of help them with that last little bit of motion, keeping the knee straight. All right, then, while we're on the floor, we're gonna go out of order a little bit. We're gonna do that abdominal strength test, so it's a hollow hold. So go ahead and just do a step straightforward hollow hold. Beautiful. 10 seconds is going to be our gold standard. If they're not able to do that, we'll do arms by your sides, tucking, yep, and the different variations on that. So kind of experiment and see what they can hold, and I would just write down what modifications had to be made for them in order to do that. Then the last one is the ankle mobility test. So why don't you come on up? We'll go on one knee like you're proposing to the camera. So you can come right on this guy. So this is where normally there would be a wall right here, and my hand, my pinky side, would be up against the wall, and then her big toe ends up right up against my thumb. You keep your heel down. I want you to bring this knee forward as far as you can. Good. Ideally, you should be able to hit. That's good. Doing the shoe on, but so ideally the knee should be able to hit the wall, and that's it. Going back up. If they complain of any pinching in here, tell them to talk to me. That's just the easiest version. If otherwise, they should just feel a calf stretch or nothing at all. So if they feel it down here, they need to stretch the soleus. If they feel it more up here, it should be more the gastroc. So that should be everything. If you have any questions on any of it, just let me know. Thanks, Melissa.
cool. Yeah, you're welcome. That was fun. I got a little FMS screening myself.